Hello. Welcome to Studio 7.
I feel like my chair's
It does.
I'm like
you know what it does look like?
sliding around a little bit. I'll do it during a commercial break. I feel like I'm looking up at you a little bit, and I don't
You
necessarily.
do seem short.
I don't necessarily love that. You see yourself on TV sometimes.
Mine's a little higher.
And if I'm sitting next to you, or if I'm sitting next to you in autumn, or I'm in the middle here, and there's times when it's almost like I'm dipping in the middle, and I'm like, wait, I'm way taller than that. I'm like, why is this happening right now?
Don't mess with. What is that called? Short person complex?
Yeah.
Neapolitan?
Well, I find myself always in the gray area because I am right on the 6 foot line. And if you ask a lot of guys, they would tell you nobody's actually 6 feet. They're either 5'11" and they're lying to be 6 feet, or you know what I mean? So I am very adamant. If you put me up against a wall with a tape measure, I am just over 6 foot. But when you say you're 6 foot, nobody believes you. They think you're 5'11" and you're lying because you want to be 6 foot.
Why do guys lie about their height?
I don't know. I don't know. It's just one of those things that
I've never met a woman that's lied about her height.
No. No, I don't know.
Why do y'all lie about it?
I don't know.
So are you 5'11"?
No, I'm 6 foot. And I will, one of these days we'll get a tape measure and we can stand me up against a wall. And it's funny too, because even my wife will sometimes like poke fun at me about it, because it is something that for some reason gets under the skin of some guys.
Is she taller than you?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. She's pretty tall though. She's 5'7", 5'8". But we were in her school and we were walking through the hallway and one of the classrooms was open and they had a Josh Allen height chart on the wall. And I walked up to the chart and I was like, see? And I was like holding the thing where you put your pointer finger there and you turn around and you're like, see where I am? So yeah.
How tall is Josh?
He's
taller than 6 foot.
Oh, he's 6'6", 6'5",
Oh, okay.
6'6". Yeah, he's tall.
All right.
Tall.
We'll say you're 6 foot.
There are very few people in the locker room who I feel like are just ridiculously tall when you're talking to them. The two exceptions are Greg Rousseau and Spencer Brown. They are massive human beings. I mean, Spencer Brown might be 6'9", and 6'9" is big.
Yes, it is.
6'9" is big.
Yes, it is.
Regardless of what height you are, 6'9" is a very tall person.
Yeah. James is 6'2".
Okay.
He's a whole foot taller than me.
Oh, you're only 5'2"?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever really...
He's a whole foot. Like, there's a little room and then his chin is like a whole shoe.
Yeah. Are your kids tall?
My son is taller. He's 22. Maybe he's, I don't know, 5'6". My daughter's taller. Next year, I'm going to be the shortest person in the house.
Yeah. That's how it works.
Yeah.
Our daughter is measuring like 90th percentile for height, so I'm really hoping that continues. It probably at this
She's going
point
to be taller than you, and then you'll be aggravated.
I would be fine with that.
Yeah?
I want her to be. Yeah, I want her to whatever she wants to be. But obviously, you can't control that. But she keeps every time we go to the doctor and they do these measurements thing, they're always like 90th percentile for height. Weight has been around 30 to 40%. So she right now is a string bean, and I'm like, hey, I don't know where you're getting that from, but just like keep on going, baby. Keep on getting taller. So we'll see. She'll probably flatline at some point. The thing that drives me crazy about my height is I have been this height since middle school.
Really?
And then I just stopped growing, legitimately, because my dad was 6'3", so I always kind of thought that I was going to be pretty tall. 6 foot is, I would say, pretty close to average.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, when you're in middle school and you're almost 6 foot,
That's cool.
You're like, okay, hey, you're going to
yeah.
be pretty tall. And then I just didn't really continue to grow.
And then as we get older, we shrink. So
yes,
you're going to be 5'11".
I swear my little Italian grandmother started at 5'2", and by the time she got to 95, she was 4'10". She just kept on getting smaller. And the volume in her hair kept on getting smaller too, because she would put less effort into the beehive that she had on her head. Norma Vaselli, bless her little heart.
Very true.
She was so little.
Very, very true. I think I've been the same height since, maybe middle school.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Well, some people hit growth spurts late. Some people grow on their own schedule. Some people shoot up really early, and then they're like me, and they don't get any taller. Some people don't get taller until after they've gone to high school or when they're in their early 20s or something. There's people who keep getting taller. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, not me.
Yeah.
The only thing that grew was my eyebrows.
Did you ever have
And they connected. Oh, yes. I had the unibrow.
How did you do that? What'd you do to get rid of it?
I didn't cut it until my senior year in high school. So I got picked on.
You cut it or did you
shaved it.
Yeah. Wax it.
Yeah. And the only reason I did is because people kept talking about it. But they connected. It was like, it's bad.
Well, it's,
it's bad. It's bad.
You had to overcome. You got through it, and you're better because of it.
That I did.
Yeah.
That I did.
How did we get here?
I don't know. We never know how we get to where we
What
get.
did we talk about? Why were we talking about height? That's such a... Oh, because I said the chair is low.
Yeah.
Yeah. During the commercial, I'm going to be about 3 inches taller. I'm going to shoot my chair up a little bit.
I love it. And I'm going to stay here because I like being tall right now.
So what else is going on in life?
Not that much. I mean, I would love to talk about, because and we could talk about on the other side of the break too. What are your sleep patterns like with your daughter?
Oof.
Talking about health, wellness. I mean, our girls, because our kids just had last week off of school, they sleep all night.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking back to the days when they didn't.
Yeah.
And it was nuts.
It's tricky. I mean, we had over the weekend, she's hit a little bit of a sleep regression, and I believe that's the actual term for it. She was really good for a while. We were spoiled. She would sleep through the night. She would sleep like 7:30 to 7:30, which is
that's a long time.
Which is unbelievable. So she would do a nap in the middle of the day for an hour and a half max, and then we would put her down pretty close to 7:30 every night, and she would sleep all the way through. But for the last 2 weeks, she's been almost consistently either not going down for a few hours when we put her in her crib or waking up in the middle of the night. And we don't exactly know what it is. So there have been a lot of 1:30 wake ups, 2 o'clock wake ups. And it's tricky because I'm somebody, when I'm up, then I'm up and I can't fall back asleep.
Oh, you give me 30 seconds, I'm out.
Oh, see, I'm not like that.
Out.
So for me, if I fall asleep at 10:30, and then she's up at 1:30, I'm waking up, I'm not falling back asleep legitimately until 4 o'clock in the morning. And then you just sit there and you don't know what to do.
You're staring at the wall.
Yeah. At that point, I go downstairs and I just like turn on the TV and I'm like, I can't sit in the bed for 2.5 hours. I would lose my mind.
Well, I scroll. I'm guilty.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay off my phone as much as humanly possible.
We'll be right back. Welcome back to Studio 7. Is your chair higher?
Oh, crap. No, I didn't do it. Hold on. There we go. There we go. Much better. Much better.
That is so funny. That is so funny. So we were talking about like our kids and sleep patterns and things like that. The girls are older now. One of them is an early bird like me. So she's up at the crack of dawn. 6 o'clock, we're up, we're at it. The other one can sleep till 10 o'clock, but she doesn't go to bed till close to midnight. She will stay up.
When you say up and at 6 o'clock, what do you mean? You're
like, we're annoying everybody. We're making noise. I'm cleaning.
At 6 a.m.?
Absolutely.
So when do you wake up?
Sometimes earlier.
When do you wake up?
What do you between 5:30 and 6.
That's aggressive.
Yeah.
That's aggressive.
I've never been called that. I've never heard that called aggressive. I love it.
I had to wake up early when I used to work the morning show. Those were 2 years of just a blur. I would wake up at 2:30 in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. I never could get used to it. I just really struggled kind of getting into that pattern.
Yeah. 2:30 is different.
2:30 is different.
But 5:30, I'm awake and my eyes
what time do you go to bed?
Going.
What time do you go to bed?
About 9.
That's early. You don't think that's early?
Alyssa's face. Alyssa, your face.
You go to bed at 8 o'clock?
p.m. No, she's talking about me.
Oh, you go to bed at 8 o'clock?
Between 8:30 and 9. Sometimes I'm tired by 8.
Sure. There's days when I'm tired.
But I'm up like I'm ordering Instacart. I'm ordering groceries. I'm thinking about dinner. I'm thinking about lunch. I mean, I'm getting the whole day in my mind together.
It makes sense to be tired by 8:30 if you're waking up at 5:30. That's a long time to be awake.
Thank you, Alyssa.
But at the same time, you miss so much when you go to bed at 8:30.
Not really.
No?
No, because the girls go to bed at 8:30. The twins go to bed at 8:30.
Yeah.
Our son is 22. He's not thinking about talking to me.
Sure. Yeah.
And I mean, if my phone rings after 8:30 because everybody in my life knows that I'm in bed, it's an emergency.
This is a little bit of a difference too with our schedules. You work most days until what, 5 o'clock?
Yes.
Okay. See, I'm here until 6:30. That extra hour and a half, I think, makes a pretty exponentially big difference.
It does.
Because now I'm not getting home until 7 o'clock. So if I get home at 7 o'clock, then our daughter goes down, typically 7:30, 7:45. By the time that's done, then I will go downstairs and just try and put together something for dinner.
Yeah.
At that point, it's 8 o'clock. And now all of a sudden, I can't shut down. I'm still not that far removed from work where I'm pretty wired for a couple hours. And I'm also, if there's football on, I'm watching it. Like during the NFL season, any game. I'm not talking about the Bills. I'm talking about any game. If there's a Monday night game on, a Thursday night game on, whatever it is, I am staying up and watching it. So I'm not going to bed those nights until 11:30. And then most mornings I'm woken up by our daughter. I'm not choosing to wake up. I am woken up by her.
And what time is she up?
Typically 7:30. Try
Okay.
and get her out of the crib by 7:45, 8 o'clock, depending on how long she has been up.
Yeah.
We've
Yeah.
got you got the apps now. It's different where I can just turn the camera on, I can see her, I
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
hear
Yeah.
her. So we'll get the notification, we'll hear her starting to get up, and then once the screaming starts, it's a lot of mama, mama, daddy, daddy. Mostly mommy though. She is very much a
Oh,
mommy's girl.
just right now.
Mommy, 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 mommy,
Right
mommy, and she
now.
just screams and goes and goes and
You
goes.
got to record that. I got to hear that.
And then it's funny because I'll go into the room and a lot of times she'll ask, where's the first thing she always asks is about mommy and Harper. Harper's the dog and then mommy. So there's days when my wife is a school counselor. She'll go to school. She'll leave at 8 o'clock in the morning. If Ellie is just getting up, mommy's already on her way to work. She'll go, where'd mommy go? And I go, mommy's at work. And she goes, where's Harper? Harper's the dog. And I go, Harper's downstairs. And she'll go, can we see Harper? I go,
Aw.
yes.
Now my girls ask for James.
Oh, do they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are not mama's girls unless they want to go to Five Below.
Oh, yeah. And
Yeah,
that's,
but-
they know you're going to say yes.
Yep. So where's daddy? Like if they get up and James is in there, yeah.
Yeah, no. So we're dealing with she's a little bit, it's not a bad thing. She's very attached to my wife, but it makes it harder for my wife because she can't really ever leave. She can't really ever go
Yeah.
somewhere because our daughter freaks out. So we could be sitting in a room playing on the ground and Andrea goes to throw laundry in. Where'd
Yeah.
mommy go? Mommy, mommy, mommy. It's like she's gonna be right back. Like just chill.
But that's right now though.
Sure.
I promise you it'll
I mean,
change.
she's not even 2 yet. So like
Yeah,
she's got a
it'll
long way to
change.
go. But she's chatty. She repeats things. She's boss. Our dog.
Oh, has she chatted anything or repeated anything in family functions yet?
No, nothing that
Oh,
would
wait
get,
for that.
Yeah, nothing that would get us in trouble.
Wait
I'm sure
for that.
she'll be like, "Oh, Nana, this is what they said about you," or something.
I'm telling you.
we don't have any of that. But
They tell everything.
She will though. So I go to breakfast. I've said this on the show before. I go to breakfast every single week with my two buddies, and she always comes. And last week, she knocked the coffee off of the table onto my friend's lap, and it spilled. I mean, it didn't turn into anything other than a spill. She has brought up the spill for weeks now. She'll be like, "Spilled Nick's coffee, spilled Nick's coffee," and I go, "It's okay."
because it got a reaction.
He
right?
forgives you. Like everything is fine. So she has her certain things. But when she wakes up in the morning, usually while she's lying in bed, she will be singing the most ridiculous songs. She'll be singing Happy Birthday. No idea why. She'll be singing Santa Claus is coming to town. She'll be
That's
like,
my girl.
"You better watch out." And she's like, or her ABCs. And those will be
I love it.
those will be the things that will kind of wake us up on the app of just hearing like. And she now, 2 months ago, she wasn't really doing this, but now she'll just go ho ho ho. And I'm like, that was 2 months ago. What are you still doing this for?
Well, wait until she can climb out of her bed and then come in your room and then just talk your ear off first thing in the
Well,
morning.
there are days she can't. Obviously, she's in a crib still, but there are days when if you get her out of the crib and she'll just run into the room and just try and get to the bed and be like, "Get to the bed, get to the bed, bed,
I
bed."
love it.
So yeah,
I love
she
it.
is so much fun, but so much work, so much work. And everybody tells you this, and you know it's like, okay, yeah, you signed up for this. It is relentless. That 12:30 to 2 o'clock nap that usually she doesn't even fully take.
Yeah.
That is a sacred portion of the day.
Dude, I got a whole basketball team in my house.
Yeah.
And a sixth man.
Yeah, you got to embrace the chaos because if you don't, you are
gonna go
done.
nuts.
You're done for. You
Yes.
would go nuts.
We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back, friends. So we've talked about our kids. So it's only natural that we evolve into talking about stress management, right? Does it even exist? Do you have anything to manage?
No.
Yeah.
I'm bad at it. There's certain things that I find very therapeutic. If I wake up before everyone, I just go have a cup of coffee. And when the weather's nice, I will go out on the back patio. I do not care what time it is with a cup of coffee and
your
just-
Crocs.
and just sit. Yes, in my Crocs. I'm one of those people who, no matter what time of the year it is, I'm always outside if I'm taking the dog out, whatever it is, in shorts. My neighbors are like, "What do you do?" I just
Right.
and I also, this is a weird thing. This is nothing to do with what you asked. I, for some reason, don't put on a coat 90% of the time when I go outside to take the dog out.
And you don't notice the cold in the winter?
Oh, you notice the cold, but it almost is like I'm embracing the suffering that I don't need to. I could put on sweatpants and a coat to go outside, but it feels like maybe I'm just too lazy to do that. So if I'm walking around the house in a shorts and a t-shirt, I'll go outside in a short and t-shirt, regardless. Long story short.
That is so funny.
If the weather's nice, I'll go outside in the flip-flops or the Crocs with shorts, a hoodie, and just have a cup of coffee and just kind of sit there. I'll put sports radio on, and I'll just kind of have 30 to 45 minutes where it's calm. It used to be I'd run a lot. I would run to try and clear my mind. I found it very therapeutic. Now, with my wife leaving for work when she does, and our daughter not being at the point where we could put her in like a running stroller and just try and take her along, that doesn't happen nearly as much. I don't find it nearly as therapeutic as I once did, but that would be something that I found very much like the morning of my wedding, I had to just go run 5 miles because I was like, I just need to.
You just had to go run. You said it like it was nothing.
Well, it used to be pretty common. I used to most days go out and run like 3 to 6 miles in that range. And,
good for you.
Well, I was much younger. It was 5 or 6 years ago. But I really liked the idea of putting on headphones and not paying attention to anything. Just going on a run.
Yeah. I don't run. I walk.
Walking is fantastic.
I walk on my treadmill.
Walking is one of my favorite things. Not on a treadmill. I get bored of that. But walking outside.
When it's nice, but I don't walk in the winter.
No, I don't a ton. We have a dog, so I try and take her occasionally. But no, not nearly as much. We have a very nice walking neighborhood, which is very cool. So you can go outside. We're on a bike path. We can go and just walk up and down the bike path. And that's very... When it gets to that point, when we get to like late March, early April, when the weather starts to get a little bit nicer, and you have those random 50, 60 degrees mixed in.
It's like a heat wave.
It's going to be.
So you're able to manage your stress a little more when it's nicer because you're able to get out more.
Weird things stress me out. One of the things that incredibly stresses me out is if I'm running behind on something and I have no control.
That's not weird though. That's not weird.
But it's things that don't matter. It's not if I'm running behind to work or something where there are consequences. I could be going to the grocery store, and if I wanted to leave at 2:00 and I leave at 2:15, that will legitimately mess with me.
I don't think that's weird though. I mean, because one of my pet peeves is not staying on time.
Wasting time to me is a big thing that stresses me out, and that's kind of my thing. And I'm very fortunate where I'm I'm young and knock on wood, I've been healthy so far. Like the one thing I can't get by is time. And I hate the idea of wasting it in any capacity because it is so precious.
Have you heard of the let them theory?
I have not.
I have been reading a lot more. And the let them theory is exactly what it sounds like. Let them. If things happen or people make certain decisions that maybe you don't like, talking about kids and stuff like that, let them. Like just kind of analyzing and going through everything and saying, does it really matter? And it's really hard because being late or not staying on time, even if it's my own time that I set for myself, is a pet peeve of mine. But it's just like Mercedes. It's not, just let it go. Let it, and you can't do it with everything. But with a lot of life, you can.
Yeah. Do you feel, this is deep. Do you feel like your perspective though on that kind of stuff has changed?
Absolutely. But I think I would have gotten there with the diagnosis or without, at least in this area, because as we get older, we realize, why am I stressing over that?
Yeah.
And so for me, I'm like, and I've done it several times today. Just let them.
Yeah.
Several times today when things or people say certain things that like, you know what, it really, just let them. But again, you can't do that with everything.
Yeah.
Like kids are like, Mom, we're hungry. Just let them.
Yeah. To say that seems like a good excuse for almost anything.
I don't want to cook. Just let them be hungry.
Let them. Let them. You figure it out, kids.
That's not a good one. But as far as stress management, that helps a ton. And then I take time to meditate every morning.
Oh, do
I'm
you?
getting better at it.
Do you? You take time?
I do.
Just straight silence, or what do you do? Do you got an
10
app?
minutes. At least 10. No, I don't have an app, but at least 10 minutes. I'm sitting there, and my family knows. Like, 'cause I have one daughter that runs in, good morning, and she wants to talk about everything. And I'm like, you gotta give me 10 minutes.
Sit down.
No, close the door. Yep.
Sit down.
And I'll sit, and
you do that.
I
stuff?
don't do that. Nope.
Just
But I
like,
focus
nah, I
on
don't
certain
do-
things to keep my mind focused on, nothing pretty much. Just relax.
And you think
chill.
and does that help?
Yes. And I think James would say it does too, because I look over him and I'm like, it's gonna be a good day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And he's in the room while you're doing it.
Sometimes he doesn't say a word because he knows he wants a good
Yeah,
day.
yeah. I was gonna say, my gosh, he's
He
like,
wants a good day.
If I give her these 10 minutes, I know she's gonna have a good day, which then in turn will give
He
me a
sat
good
there
day.
this morning.
One of the things that I really at some point in my life want, I find it very relaxing to sit in a sauna. Very relaxing.
Yes.
I at some point want to have a sauna at my home. And I think every single morning I would start with that. I think I would go outside, or if it was in whatever, I would go sit in the sauna for 10 or 15 minutes in just silence.
You know, that's up there with steel cut oats.
Oh, come on.
We
almost did an episode without talking about steel cut oats. I bought some at the grocery store this weekend. Not for me, for Ellie, because she needs her meal every morning. All right, we got to say goodbye.
I love that. Yes, thanks for watching. Have a good
night, guys.